Hello there. Welcome to Discussing Fitchburg Now. I am your host, Sam Squailia. You're watching this thanks to the Fitchburg Access Television News Studios at 780 Main Street. Thanks for joining us. We got a big show tonight. They're all big shows, but this is a big show. We have the Bay State Brawlers on that are going to talk to us about the upcoming season. We have Storie Libby, Cool Story Bro, and Niemi, George Sorewell. And then in the second half, you got to stick around because we're going to have Veterans Inc. to tell us about all the programs that they offer as well. So that'll be in the second half of the show. So welcome to the first half of the show, where I have members from the Bay State Brawlers, our North Central Massachusetts own roller derby team.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for having us.
Yeah,
thank you.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
So we have another year of the Bay State Brawlers brawling out in the roller derby fashion at the Wallace Civic Center.
Yes.
With a number of other teams. And what's the league that you play in?
So it's called Women's Flat Track Derby Association, and this will actually be our first time returning to ranked play since COVID. So it'll be a really good chance to play teams outside of ourselves. Last year we came on and supported our sort of home opener, which was just a scrimmage against ourselves to get back into the space and get everybody excited about derby again. But this year we're back on to ranked WFDA games.
Oh, yeah. So last year there was only one game that was at home, and it was the Brawlin' Broads versus, what's the other one?
You know, I can't remember, but...
The Punishers?
Punishers, thank you.
The
yes.
Punishers and the Brawlin' Broads. And because which one's like one's
So the Punishers were the A team, and the Broads, I believe, were the B team. We actually have some exciting news that we're going to be announcing at our first game. We're going to be releasing some new and slightly more inclusive team names for both our A and B teams.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So stick around or show up.
So the team names are changing. Yeah. Oh, cool. All right. But you've got to come to the home opener, which is June 3rd.
June 3rd.
Which is a Saturday.
It is a Saturday.
So June 3rd is the home opener for the Bay State Brawlers, and that's at the Wallace. They play at the Wallace Civic Center. Doors open at 4, and tickets to get in are what, $10?
$10, $5 for kids. Yep, and you can do a season pass for $25, and it'll give you tickets to all 3 doubleheaders.
Because there are 3 home games this year. They're all doubleheaders.
Yes.
So we play. So there's 2 games, plus there's a scrimmage in the beginning, right? Do you usually do that?
I don't think so anymore. This upcoming game will be our A team plays first and the B team plays second. I don't know if you want to talk about the other ones as well. I can't remember.
Like who we're playing?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Maybe not. Well,
Let's see if I got.
Well, I know we're playing Mass Attack. We're playing Mard, and I think that's the first
Yep,
game.
and then we've got Shoreline as the B team for the June 3rd game.
Yeah.
So Shoreline, is that like a...
I think they're Connecticut.
Cape Cod? Oh,
Connecticut.
Yeah, they're Connecticut.
And then Mass
Mard
Attack.
is Seekonk, I think. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. And so doors open at 4. And the games actually start at 5.
Yeah,
so you get there at 4. There's concessions.
Yep.
Got some drinks.
There's beer available at the concession stand during the game, which is always an added little bonus. But kids are welcome.
Yes.
And kids come. They do like a game in the middle of the 2 games.
The wheel toss, I believe.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun.
You can buy a wheel, and the kids toss a wheel, and they try to get it closest to the center thing, and then the kids win.
Yep. And there's another section too, an 18+ section where adults can come sit a little closer to the action if they want. I think you have to bring your own chair.
Yes.
But
it's
just
like
another
really
way.
trackside, like really close.
So if you want to get trackside, then just bring your own folding chair.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're all set. Or one of those camp chairs.
And be 18+. Too.
And be 18+. Yes. But there is a kids area where the kids are like playing over kind of in the back of the 18+ area, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, tons of space in the arena as well. And like you mentioned, concessions and, fun for the crowd as well. There's a lot going on. And even if you're bored by roller derby, which I can't imagine you could be, but there's many other things going on as well.
So Tyler, can we throw up some of the pictures that we've got on this screen? Can we throw them up on the main screen? Just kind of go through a few so people at home, if they've never seen a roller derby game, they can kind of get an idea of what we're talking about. So here's some black and white pictures of the roller derby. So it's roller skates, and there's how many people are on each team?
So there's 15 skaters on the track in every game. There's one jammer, as you can see on the picture, the nice lady with the star, exactly. That's the person who's trying to score points. As you can see, the punishers here are the blockers trying to stop that jammer from getting through. So super high contact sport. It's very fast paced, and there's a lot of just craziness kind of on the track, but it's a lot of fun, and if you are interested, we hope that you'll come to our games this year.
It's a good time. Can we get another picture, Tyler? What else we got here? Let's see. Oh,
there we go. Beautiful.
This is good. Can we keep this for a second? So these are the 3 games that you can come see at the Wallace Civic Center right in Fitchburg at 1000 John Fitch Highway. So on June 3rd, Saturday, they're all Saturday games, right?
Saturday.
So Saturday, June 3rd, Saturday, July 15th, and Saturday, August 5th. And the games all start at 5 p.m., but the doors open at 4, so you can get yourself all situated and ready. And they're $10 a piece, $5 for children, or you can buy the season pass, $25 if you plan to go through all 3 games. Now you're saving money.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
That's an excellent deal.
Yeah.
What else do we got for pictures here? See here you can see Wallace Civic Center. This is where you play. It's a flat concrete track, so it's flat track.
Yes, so there are different kinds of roller derby. There is flat track, which is what we play, and there's also bank track. Flat track is a little bit easier to pick up and go because you just need a flat surface with maybe some tape. Bank tracks are a little bit harder. We don't have a bank track team in Massachusetts as far as I know. But as you mentioned, we are the Central Mass team. So, if you are interested, we have new skater classes all the time. I believe we have another one this summer. So if you're interested, you can go to our website at stateBrawlers.com, our Facebook, our Instagram. We are always posting events as well as new skater classes and other ways to get involved if you're just interested in reffing or, there's a job for everybody. So
there's a way to get involved.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
And okay, we're good with the pictures there, Tyler. Thank you very much. With the game itself, it's when you first go to see the game, it's a little bit complicated because you're like, all right, what are these guys doing over here? How is this guy scoring? Like how? Someone will take the star thing off the helmet and they put it on someone else's helmet. Like, what's going on here? And there's a star on one, and there's another.
It's called a pivot, right? The stripe.
Oh, the stripe.
Yeah. So the star, as I mentioned, is the jammer, the person that's getting the points. The pivot can take the star from their jammer if they're stuck, they can't get out of the pack for whatever reason. There is a little bit of help that you can give. But as you mentioned, it is pretty crazy. There's a lot going on. We do try to explain it a little bit, I think, at the beginning of the games. But it is really one of those things that once you watch it, it just makes a lot more sense. And even if it doesn't, I mean, I've got a family that says I have no idea what just happened, but it was amazing. You know.
Well, also when you arrive and you buy your ticket, they give you a program that has the names of everybody, but it's also got an explanation.
It's got a little like cliff notes,
yeah. So you can read it and kind of get an idea of how the game works too. But basically, the jammer is the one that scores, and they have to beat the pack and go around one time, and then they
have to do their initial pass, and then the next pass is the scoring pass. So they have to get through once before they can go back around again
and score the points. And then every blocker they pass on the other team
they get extra
is
points.
a point, is 1 point. So they got to get out, come back around, and then they're scoring points if they pass blockers. If they don't, no points. So they're trying to nix that.
And so the blockers, so that's why you'll see like a bunch of they'll all like do like this, and they'll try to stop the person from getting through.
Anything you can do.
Because if they get through, the other team scores a point.
Well, the blockers are playing offense and defense at the same time, which
they're trying to let
maybe not simultaneously, but they are doing
help your jammer, block the other one.
There's a lot going on.
It's a lot.
when you're watching it, there's constantly something going on.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool too. You can start to pick out strategies here and there. You can see like, oh, they're gonna they're gonna do that to that jammer. So it's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
Yep, because it restarts every maximum 2 minutes, but the
new jam. Yeah,
the
new
jam
jam all the
is
time.
maximum 2 minutes, so it's changing all the time, which is why there's always.
And then you see people switch out,
Yep.
like kind of like in hockey, where
Absolutely.
they're changing the lines.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what roles do you guys find yourself playing the most often?
Well, I'm brand new, so I actually just had my first scrimmage yesterday.
Oh,
so
Doing great.
And it was all a blur. So I don't really know what I'm going to end up
don't know
doing.
what role
I just
you're
know
finding
right
yourself
now I'm
best in.
focusing on getting better at everything,
Yeah.
and I just keep showing up and learning more every time I go. Yeah.
I was always a jammer for the longest time, but I am slowly but surely starting to block more and don't hate it as much as I thought I did. So, we'll see how that goes. But she made a great point that roller derby is just a really great community, and even if you have no experience whatsoever, there is a place for you to join our new skater classes. There is no experience required at all. So
You don't even know how to skate. If you don't,
I didn't.
You don't even
Nope.
have to know how to skate.
No, truly,
You
you
will
can
get
show
taught.
up. Absolutely.
Everything. But we teach you how to fall correctly,
Yep.
how not to get hurt. You don't start out just taking hits and good luck. It's very, we're going to guide you through
Yeah.
every step, from rolling to skating backwards to learning how to stop on your own and all that fun
Yeah.
stuff.
Yep. And so, how long did it take you to learn how to skate and go through, and now you're gonna be able to play a game?
Well, I knew how to skate already. Like
Could you skate good? Or like, you had an
no, I
idea?
couldn't stop. I couldn't stop. So
with that front toe
yeah,
thing?
no, I could not stop at all. So that's definitely been my biggest achievement. Stopping. So I could skate, but I couldn't do anything else. I had no idea how the game was played, what any of the players were doing out there. So yeah, I've gone from, I started in January, and now I feel like for the most part I understand what's going on sometimes, but it's chaotic when you watch. All I can say is it's way more chaotic when you're in it.
That is
when
true.
you're playing. Yeah, it's just so much.
So, are you
movement.
going to play one of the games this year?
Well, probably not, but I scrimmage with the team on Sundays now, and just learning as much as I can. Yeah. And it's good. They don't let you move forward until you're ready. So I never feel
to that point.
I feel nervous, but I never feel like the team is ever going to let me do anything that I'm not ready for. Like, it's so supportive.
Throw you to the sharks, so to
Yeah,
speak.
so supportive.
Yeah,
Like, you're in. Like, no.
And she's exactly right. I mean, there are levels to the boot camp that happens. There's level 1. You have to test into level 2, where you start to actually do a little bit of contact here and there. But even then, you have to qualify to be hit in roller derby. So, again, you can start and know everything, or you can start and know nothing, and we're happy to have you either way.
And you're going to rise through the ranks if you
Just keep
Absolutely.
showing
if
up.
you just keep showing
Yep.
up. That's 90% of success, isn't it?
No kidding.
Just showing up.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yep. So true. Some days it's harder than others to make myself show up.
So
but I do
what
it.
got you interested in joining the Bay State Brawlers and getting involved in roller derby?
Well, my birthday's in January, and in December, I was just looking for, I really can't remember why I was looking for a roller derby, but I just Googled roller derby near me. And I'm a bit of an empty nester. My son's in college, and I just had time on my hands, and I thought, this looks really fun. And I live in Fitchburg, and I thought, okay, I'm just going to do it. So I asked for the new skater class for my birthday, and I just loved it, like from the first practice. I just love it.
And
yeah.
it's kind of like instant group of friends.
It's really, the community is fantastic, and I feel like everybody knows how much they think they sucked at the beginning of their journey, and so
they don't make fun of you.
No, of course not. And that's the thing. Everybody's like, I've been there. Let me help you up.
Yeah.
And it is really like a family just from the get-go. Super, super fun group of people to be around.
Yeah.
And what kind of commitment for time is it for people that are interested in joining? as a skater or a referee?
Yeah, so it depends on what level you skate on. For example, the travel team, the A team, has more practices a week than the B team does, etc. But generally speaking, there are 2 to 3 practices a week, one of which will be like a scrimmage, like she mentioned. So we get to do a little bit of gameplay against ourselves to get ready for our opponents. But then, like you said, ref opportunities and things like that. I do think we have some ref classes or those types of things. I don't know how often they meet on their own, but they do also help with scrimmages and things like that. So again, lots of opportunities.
Because the referees are doing a lot of work as well. There's
Absolutely.
like 2 referees in the...
So many.
Yeah, there are skating referees, so you've got the pack refs. Then you have the people who are tracking the points, tracking the penalties, looking at the penalty box to make sure somebody sits in the right chair. All of these things that just really have to have somebody watching them to make the game go smoothly.
Yeah. Each jammer has their own ref.
A jam ref, yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
They
so each-
do the points and all that fun stuff.
Yeah. They get their
It's-
own.
There's a lot going on.
There's so much going on.
Yeah, and you've got an amazing team of people, and you know that show up, and I don't know. There's a lot of family members that show up too. and they're
Significant
cheering.
others,
There's
yeah.
people with signs.
It's a lot of fun, and really, like, we couldn't do it without that support. You know, the community makes it huge, and the support from friends and family. But people who've, even if you've never seen roller derby, like, there's also a spot for you as a fan. You know what I mean? That's another group of people that are really just going to take you in and have fun with you at that, you know, at that moment. So.
Oh yeah, the first game I went to, I went alone, and I went and I saw like a group of dudes. They were sitting there drinking Budweiser. And I was like, oh, this looks like fun. So I grabbed a Budweiser, and I was like, hey, what are you guys doing? And they're yelling. I think one of their girlfriends was on team or something. They're yelling and rooting, and I'm like, yeah, this is it.
Yeah.
This is fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And as a skater, it's amazing. I mean, I don't even know half these people, you know, and they just are so excited to see what we think is just cool to do. So. It's fun to watch other people get excited about what I think is super great.
And you know what's the Bay State Brawlers do really well is merchandise. I mean, when you go to the game, they got a merch table, and there's like cool tank tops,
Sunglasses,
and
hats.
there's the pins, and
Yeah, we were actually
t-shirts
just talking about all the new ideas we could possibly have for this year's merch. So we're always. And
you
if
gonna
you
have
have
new
anything
merch?
you want to see,
you gonna
let us know at a game. We're happy to, you know, if we've got requests, we're always looking for new fun things to put our names on.
Yeah, there's the Bay State Brawlers logo, but it's also like in rainbow colors.
The foil, yep.
For Pride. I mean, there's all kinds of good stuff.
Absolutely.
And whenever I go, there's a bake sale. Is there
Oh,
gonna be
yes.
is there a bake
We'll
sale?
definitely have a bake sale. Absolutely.
There's like cookies
Yep.
and little
Yeah, we've got some pretty great
muffins,
bakers
like
in and related to the team.
brownies.
Yeah.
Last time they were like things shaped like different ice cream cone things or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
I don't know.
I was all in the cheesecake last time, so the mini
Yeah.
cheesecakes.
We had chocolate-covered Oreos. It was like we had a whole
chocolate-covered
spread last time we had a
Oreos.
bake sale. Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that.
The bake sale will definitely be a big deal. Yeah.
Yeah, they go pretty hard.
So we can go to baystatebrawlers.com for more information. Can we put that up on the main screen? Thank you. baystatebrawlers.com. The website is phenomenal. They do an excellent job. You can click everything, find all the information there. You can find the links on how it works if you want to study up before you go, so you can be the expert and tell all the people around that are going, what's going on? You can
Sure.
You can teach them.
Yeah, you could be the one who knows.
Yeah, and they're also on Instagram and all the good pictures on
Facebook, everywhere.
Instagram,
Yep.
Facebook.
You can find all those links on our website too.
Yep. And during the home opener, which is June 3rd, in case you just tuned in, can we put the schedule up on the main screen? So the home opener for the Bay State Brawlers, which is Central Mass's roller derby team, is Saturday, June 3rd. And this plays, that one. Can we put that up on the main screen? That's at 1000 John Fitch Highway at the Wallace Civic Center. These are 3 Saturday games. You have 3 chances to go, and really you want to go all 3 because they're so fun. Saturday, June 3rd, Saturday, July 15th, and Saturday, August 5th. The games start at 5 p.m., but the doors open at 4, so you can get there early and start picking out who, that you can read the program and see all the fun names of everybody.
Hit the bake sale, buy some merch.
Vote for your favorite skater. We have jars where you can vote for
your,
you can
vote for your favorite skater.
Oh yeah.
Because the skaters also, they everybody's got their name, but then you get to pick a new name. You get to pick your derby name. Your derby name. Right. All right. Yeah. So how did you pick your derby name?
Well, I'm an English teacher, and I had a whole list before I even started the class, and I had a
punny names.
I went through a whole list, and that was the one I landed on because I really liked the book 1984, and I liked the idea of George Sorewell because I figured I was going to be really sore. I guess if I make somebody else sore, that's fine too, but I'm the one that's going to be the most sore. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
I like it. My real name is Storie, and so actually somebody else on my first team that I joined suggested Cool Story Bro, and I just didn't think I'd think of anything funnier than that. So here we are. But
cool
yeah,
story,
the names, and it really does kind of fit. But the names are some of the funniest parts. I swear, every time I hear a new name from a new team, they're great. They're punny, and some of them are so clever. So that's another fun thing to look forward to is hearing the names.
It's part of the thing. I went to a New Hampshire roller derby game a while ago, and part of the entertainment is watching to see the names and hearing them called out.
You're like, wait, what's that name? And then you look at the program, you're like, ha!
Exactly.
Yeah, good one.
Right. Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of work that gets put into the roller derby, and so what you need is the audience to support it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And probably one other thing that's good to mention is alongside the audience, again, if you do want to join us, we have loaner gear available and stuff too. So if you don't have, your own pads or whatever, it can be a little bit expensive. If you just want to try it out before you kind of make that investment, that's an option as well. We've got lots of ways to help y'all get involved.
Yeah, because when you start, you got the roller skates.
You got knee pads, elbow pads, wrist guards, and of course the helmet.
Yep.
And the mouth guard.
And the mouth guard.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you got the uniform.
Sure.
Yeah. So, but if you want to get involved, then don't let your financial situation be a burden. And
we would never
ask.
want someone to avoid checking us out or joining for that reason. So definitely contact somebody. Go to the website. If that's keeping you on the edge of wanting to join, definitely.
Good, because you could start with loaner gear.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
And then you play it, and you get into it, and you love it, and then you just slowly upgrade.
It's not when you, or if you love it, it's when you love it.
When you love it, yeah.
Yeah, you will, yeah.
So how many members of the Bay State Brawlers are there? Now I know, we had, the pandemic, so you must have lost people. Have we gained our numbers back?
Quite a few. Our most recent new skater classes have been pretty successful. We've had a lot of new skaters join us.
We have George
Sorewell. One right here. Exactly.
My skater class was pretty big.
Huge. Honestly, we've been pretty pleasantly surprised at the numbers that we've gotten. But you're not wrong. We did lose a few skaters. Some veteran skaters that just were ready to retire, or just life happens. But we have had some veteran skaters return, as well as so many new skaters that we're lucky to have. So we're getting there. We're getting back to it.
It's a really great mix of experienced players and newbies. I find it to be a really nice balance. There's always somebody that I can ask, what's going on? Can you help me with this? Yeah, it's great.
And who needs the gym? Okay, when you could do something as sporty and active as roller derby.
It's
that's a lot of takes a
great
lot
workout.
of work. I bet when you start out, you're like, whew.
You find muscles.
I feel like I'm still like that, but you know what? We do have a lot of people on the team who also cross train and are very supportive of one another, hiking or even skating outside of derby, trail skating and things like that. So the community goes outside of roller derby as well, and there's a lot of ways that we just are active together, I suppose. So.
Oh yeah, I see the Bay State Brawlers at Fitchburg Civic Day setting up.
We'll be at 4th of July, I believe. Yeah. All that fun stuff. So.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Look out for us. Our tent, and you can buy merch and hang out with us if you want.
They're out in the community, supporting our community. You know, so we like to support you too.
Much appreciated.
Absolutely. All right, so we talked about the home games. What about travel games? Do you know where the travel games are? Are those something that's within reasonable distance? If we're like really obsessed now, we've gone to the game, we've gone to the home game. Now we're like, we're gonna follow them around.
Hey, you are welcome to. We do have a couple away games. Off the top of my head, I know that one is a little bit far, but I do think we have one maybe in Rhode Island. I might be misspeaking. We do have a couple away games either way, but more information can be found, I believe, on our website.
Yeah, it's definitely on the website.
Go to statebrawlers.com and you can check out the full schedule, because these 3 games are just the home games. They actually do travel to the other area.
Around New England, and I think even sometimes like Pennsylvania maybe, or kind of a little bit south.
Yeah.
So
cool.
Yeah, should be a good time. But if you don't want to travel, again, 3 opportunities to see us right here in Fitchburg.
And totally affordable.
So affordable.
Yeah, $10. Yeah. Okay, so we covered that. Is there anything else that we didn't cover that you'd like to mention?
I don't think so.
No, I'm just happy to be here as always, and you know, we'll be around, like you said, in the community all summer. So look out for us.
Cool story, bro.
Amazing, amazing.
Very nice.
That was great.
Yes, it was.
All right, thank you very much, the Bay State Brawlers. Happy to have you on. Can't wait to see you on Saturday, June 3rd, on the home opener at Wallace Civic Center. And so we'll see you there. And then in the meantime, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be coming back on with Veterans Inc. to talk about all the programs that they offer as well.
See Click Fix, Fitchburg's one-stop shop for helping resolve issues in our community. You can report anything from a missed trash pickup to potholes on city roads, illegal dumping to broken traffic lights. To report an issue, all you need to do is click New Request. Type in the location, select a category, and send in a photo if you have one. Your request goes straight to city officials so they can help resolve the issue. Making an account is free and easy. All you need is an email. Download the See Click Fix app today to get your matters resolved.
Hi, welcome back to Discussing Fitchburg Now. I am your host, Sam Squailia. You're watching this show right in the second half, where we are talking with Sully Roberts, the Community Engagement Specialist for Veterans Inc.
Yes,
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, and really appreciate you guys here at FATV. It's really a great opportunity to come out here and just get the the message and the information out there for our veterans and their families, and the folks out there at home who might just have a veteran in their life, or they know a veteran who is struggling. And these kinds of resources are really great to just get out there, get the information out, and just make sure that our veterans have access to the stuff they deserve.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that you're here, Sully, because I feel like Fitchburg does a great job at supporting our veterans with our Veteran Center, and I feel like we do a really good job with our Memorial Day ceremonies as well, and veteran support, with local organizations such as Operation Service, and we have the Clear Path for Veterans over in Devens, and we just have, I feel like we have a lot of veterans service organization opportunity here in North Central Massachusetts. Would you say that's accurate?
Yeah, well, it's one of those things where however many resources we have available for veterans, there's always something more we could be doing. And a lot of folks don't realize that, and this goes for veterans too, but a lot of folks don't realize that, they only see kind of the resources available when things go really bad. They're not thinking of the kind of resources that could be there for a veteran who is maybe on their way to homelessness, or has lost a job, or has had trouble holding down a job. So it's really, we always are looking to get the word out more, and just kind of give them the comprehensive wraparound support that they need, and their families need as well.
And even before you get to those drastic points in your life, you can have you have opportunities for just social interaction with other veterans as well.
Yeah, and it's great. A lot of our events, like we're going to talk about it at some point, but our upcoming Stand Down event on June 23rd in Worcester. All of our events are a really great opportunity for veterans to come out and talk to other veterans, as well as folks to just come out and support our veterans. Because I think a lot of times, when veterans are coming back and kind of reintegrating into society, after serving in the military, it can be a real tough time. They're talking to folks who may not know where they're coming from, don't know the stresses that they were under, or even, why is it that a particular set of stimuli, really ramps someone up when they come back from military service. And these events kind of are a way for people to show their support, and also just show that, there's all this love for veterans. And what's really interesting, what we talk a lot about in veteran services, you noted before about Memorial Day. And Memorial Day is always a really great time. We always want to recognize our veterans and their contribution, but the veterans are still going to be here after Memorial Day, And I think that's sometimes what we struggle with, is folks coming out for, particular calendar events because, it's the time of year, we want to get out there, we want to celebrate them. But then, 2 weeks later, when that same veteran is, honestly on their way to homelessness, or is losing their job, has a substance use disorder of some kind, then people are like, oh, how do we help this person? And it's a little bit away from the kind of the pageantry and everything that goes with the events. And that's really what Veterans Inc., our motto is, they were there for us when we needed them. We must be there for them now that they need us. And that's really the biggest thing that we try to provide across the state, across New England. We were kind of discussing this a little bit before, but we're throughout New England and Montana and North Dakota. So we provide a whole host of services, kind of what you were referencing before, where, there's homelessness prevention. So we can help folks with kind of temporary financial assistance, all that kind of stuff. So if they're missing rent, or they're a few weeks behind on utilities, that kind of thing. And then, there's kind of the other supportive services that we have, like employment and training. So, we always have a host of jobs that if you're a veteran out there and you're looking for a job, we have them. But there's also the aspect that a lot of troops get home and they don't want to do what they were trained to do. They want to go and do something completely different, another completely different kind of job.
Change their life.
Change their life. And that's something else that we offer. So we have all kinds of different programs through our employment and training wing that, if they want to learn how to start coding, doing like software coding and stuff like that, or if they were looking to get a nursing license or just even get into the construction trades, become an electrician, all that kind of stuff. We really try to meet people where they're at, but also get them to where they want to go.
And you can, and you have the knowledge and the resources to help navigate the actual resources that are available to veterans.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people don't know exactly what resources are available to them, and they don't have that kind of support to show them or guide them.
Yeah. What's also interesting is, there's definitely that communication aspect of like folks, vets who come back. And what's really interesting is, especially for folks, I'm not a veteran, so I'm kind of coming from the civilian side of life. But if you've ever gone into a job and you've gone and sat down for that, wonderful conversation with HR about all of your benefits, all of this and that, when folks exit the military, their kind of, orientation or offboarding and the benefits that are available to them, so much of it is incredibly dependent on how attentive their commanding officer is to giving them that information. So, we encounter a ton of vets, young vets and older vets as well, because this has been a continual issue, where, they're coming out, they don't know that these programs even exist.
Right.
So that's our first hurdle, is just letting them know, like, we have the whole roll. Sometimes I feel like I want to pop out a Rolodex and just kind of be like, this is everything we have for you.
Without information overload.
Yeah, without information overload. But the other problem that we encounter a lot with veterans is there's just an incredible, I don't have any other word for it, but humility in the veteran community, where they will look at the eligibility criteria for a particular program, whether it's, housing, employment.
Let that go to someone else.
Yeah, and they'll say, that there's someone who's more in need than I am. And that's honestly, like, that's a bigger hurdle for us to break sometimes, is just sit down with us, talk through the eligibility criteria, because so many of our programs, you really only need like 1 day of active duty. And there are also so many veterans out there who have had active duty and they just don't know it. And that's another big thing that we try to get across there is, you don't have to have been in an active combat zone for the majority of these benefits to kick in. It's literally just you served, you did your time, reap the benefit.
Oh, here's let me just stop you there for a second.
Please.
Can we put this up on the main screen, Tyler? So if you go to the veteransinc.org.
Yep, veteransinc.org.
Veteransinc.org website. We screenshot a few of the resources that are available on the website, so you can kind of see here. You can see that they have housing programs available. They actually have housing all in the New England area, except for Rhode Island.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. And they have, for women and children, for the families of veterans. There's the post 9/11 veteran support. There's substance abuse treatment, because the PTSD is a real problem with our veteran community.
It goes hand in hand sometimes. Yeah. It's one of those things that we kind of, it's a great irony, but most of the time when someone is coming in to treatment for either PTSD, and I'm sorry for the folks at home who don't know, if you're the one person who doesn't know the abbreviation, it's a post-traumatic stress disorder. So post-traumatic stress disorder and substance use, typically they go so hand in hand. And it's really, show me someone with...
dull the senses with the substance.
Exactly. And that kind of leads into, what the PTSD does to our troops with that hypervigilance and that, just the intense anxiety that they're sitting with. We hear stories about, and these are the ones that just really, like, they cut me. But you hear stories about, vets who, they order a pizza, and the pizza guy, they know the pizza guy is coming to the door opens, and they're in a hot sweat, and they're like fight or flight, things are about to go really, really bad, and it's the pizza guy. And it's just one of those things where it's, we have all of these programs in place, and we're trying to just be there for them. And the biggest thing that I can say to, if you have a veteran at home and they're struggling or kind of on their way, just put them in touch with us, because so many times we have the peer support. We have veterans on staff who can kind of give them the support that they need. And actually, we have up on the screen here.
Can we put this Independence Hall slide on the main screen, please, Tyler?
So Independence Hall is actually our state-of-the-art substance use treatment facility. We serve both veterans and non-veterans there. As part of our licensure, we have to. But we do provide, through our Veterans Access on Demand program, a prioritized pathway for veterans. So if there are any veterans out there who are struggling with substance use, or if you're just looking for a little bit of a checkup from the neck up kind of deal, where you're looking for
mental health
mental health kind of thing.
Checkup for the neck up.
Yes,
I've never heard that.
Oh, it's a great phrase. We like it. But basically, even if you're someone who isn't necessarily like in the throes of substance use, but are just looking for some extra support, we have recovery supports in place. We have intensive outpatient programs, so folks, it's not like you have to sleep at the facility to get treatment. But so Veterans Access on Demand, we have that peer support role. So we have counselors and case managers who are also veterans, who can sit down, day one with a veteran and just, be like, we're here with you.
Even just to have someone who's been through your experience like you, and just so that you can just talk to them and relate. Sometimes that's so important, because I don't know the statistics, but it feels like less and less people are willingly joining the military. And, we have a lot of our veterans have gone into service multiple times. And so it seems like the DAV, the legions, like these people, there's less and less people that are joining these kind of long-standing veterans organizations.
Yeah, it's really interesting. There definitely is a big generational divide, just because a lot of our population, and we serve, vets from every theater, every war, every conflict, everything that's happened. But there definitely is a divide with, you hear it all the time, with younger vets are not joining the American Legion, Veterans of Foreign Wars, other organizations like that. And unfortunately, it seems like a lot of it comes from isolation. Folks who are kind of coming home, they're just sticking to themselves. Sometimes, again, it goes back to substances. They're self-medicating with substances just to kind of tamp down the anxiety. And they're not getting into these fraternal organizations that can kind of help give them a little bit more of a better outlet for it.
And we are social animals. It's amazing that the benefits of just social interaction with our peer groups, can really have for our, health checkup from the neck up.
And that's the big, and that's also another big thing that we just get out there to the vet, you don't have to have an actual issue to come talk to us. Right. We're more than happy. Most of the time, we're happy to accommodate folks. So if you just want to come down and to, our headquarters at the Old National Guard Armory in Worcester on Grove Street, we're more than happy to facilitate folks just to come in and talk to them and just kind of interact, because, there's such an incredible wisdom and just, again, I go back to the humility aspect, but you can learn so much from veterans just by sitting down and talking to them.
And so that's the perfect segue to your stand down event. That flyer was just up on the screen, Tyler. Could you throw that up on the main screen, that flyer? Yeah, that one.
Thank you.
So this 18th annual Stand Down event, this is on June 23rd. Is that a Saturday?
It's a Friday.
It's a Friday, June 23rd, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And it's basically like a veterans resource fair.
Yeah, so it has pretty much anything that a veteran in need or their family would need. I'll say that about 6 times before we're done today. But basically, we'll have a couple different sections. So we're going to have an employer fair. So they're going to be big employers like, for instance, Amazon, Home Depot, a couple others who are going to be there and ready to hire veterans just on the spot. So if you're a veteran looking for a job, we can get you a job. There's also going to be services available for folks who may not quite be at the rate where, they're not quite ready to get a job, but if you need help writing your resume or just doing some interview prep, getting some professional attire set up, that kind of thing. We're also going to have different medical providers. So if folks are looking to get a checkup, that kind of thing, if you haven't seen a PCP in a while, perhaps. And then we're also going to have a whole host of community providers out there just kind of, showing them what the services they have available for vets and also just for their families as well. Because, we know that a lot of veterans out there have dependents who rely on them, and we want to make sure that they're taken care of too.
And I like how you highlight, our female veterans, which, where in the days of the past, it was not a topic of discussion.
I know.
But female veterans maybe, have there's a whole nother layer to veteran services when it comes to female veterans.
Yeah, and their children, and that's the biggest thing too,
and
is
their
their
husbands or their wives or their families.
And that's why it's amazing the work that we've been able to do over the past 30 years. We started in 1990. It was started as a shelter by veterans for veterans. So you
the Veterans Inc. was started as a shelter.
Yes, yeah. So it started as a couple of Vietnam veterans who came back. And they looked around and realized that, their brothers in arms, because it was only brothers in arms at that point, not brothers and sisters, but their brothers in arms were struggling. And it started just as, that one building in the National Guard Historic Armory in Worcester, and since then it's just expanded out, and it's a great story. It's great that we've been able to expand and give these services out. Over that 30-year span, we've served something like 90,000 veterans and their families.
That's a lot of people.
It's a lot, and exactly as you said, it's not, you're not just looking at the veteran. It's looking out at kind of how that number balloons out across the system, because we may serve maybe roughly 2,000 veterans a year, but overall we serve between 5,000 and 6,000 people, because every veteran is a family. And it's incredible, just the scale of what we're able to accomplish and help them with.
Yeah, I see here, this slide here talks about equal opportunity housing.
Yep.
Because veteran homelessness is it's been a chronic issue and concern, and it makes us as Americans just, I don't know, it hurts us particularly because these people, put their lives on the line for defending our country and defending our way of life, and then so many of them end up homeless.
It's one of the things we talk about, and it's something that my CEO Vin Peroni often says. When folks sign up for the military, they are willing to lay down their lives for this country, but no one thinks that they're going to become homeless for their country.
Right.
No one ever thinks that, and I think that's what our ultimate mission is, to completely eliminate veteran homelessness, and we think we can do it. That's the thing, is that it is not just kind of the issue of homelessness in this country generally. It would not take that much more resources to do it. And that's why, we have these events, we have these promotions and these giveaways, and we do all this fundraising to help them and to plug that gap. But you're right, it is something that we could always do more. And that's the great thing about being in a veteran services nonprofit, is that we're there to help them, and just it's so satisfying to be in that work and to just see the looks on their faces, the look on their kids' faces, their wives, their husbands' faces. It's incredibly enriching, and that's what I tell people. If they're interested, there are so many different ways that folks can help out, whether it's through donations, through volunteering. We run a food pantry every other Thursday. So if folks are
in Grove Street in Worcester.
Yep. So if folks are looking to donate food or kind of come and just serve the veterans there, and there's always something that we have going on. We have so many events throughout the year and so many different opportunities for people to help.
So let's plug that website again. Yep. It's veteransinc.org. I'm talking with Sully Roberts, the Community Engagement Specialist from Veterans Inc. Their headquarters are in Grove Street in Worcester. You can go to veteransinc.org and see more information on how to get involved, either as a veteran or a volunteer or as a family member or interested friend.
Yeah, pretty much anyone.
Yeah, anyone. I mean, everyone knows a veteran or has been impacted in some way. So you can go to veteransinc.org to find out more information, and you can find out more information about the stand-down event or other events that Veterans Inc. holds as fundraisers or opportunities to social interaction with other veterans or other families as well.
Exactly.
Yeah. So now the housing portion of what Veterans Inc. does, how does the housing opportunities work?
So we have two broad categories that we work in: are sheltered housing, which is just what you would think of as kind of a regular homeless shelter. So we house, feed, and kind of support the veterans through all different kinds of activities. That's located right at our headquarters in Worcester.
Do you have like a dozen beds or?
I think it's actually closer to 40 some odd beds.
Wow,
I don't know the
40?
number. Yeah, it might even actually be higher than that, but it's about that. Yeah, it's a large facility.
Wow.
If you're ever driving through Worcester, it's one of the big, kind of castle-y brick buildings.
The old National Guard.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the historic armory there. So that's one aspect of it is, kind of a little bit of a traditional, veteran shelter. And then we have what is called transitional housing. So those are different apartments, predominantly apartments. We have like some triple deckers in Worcester and kind of throughout the state, out in Springfield as well, I believe, where we have, it's essentially little apartments for folks. And that's for folks who, maybe they're a little down on their luck. They just need a little bit of time to kind of transition from, maybe they were homeless previously, maybe not. Maybe they were couch surfing, that kind of stuff. And it just gives them a chance to kind of get some stable housing while we're working with them on kind of the other stuff. So, getting their benefits in line, making sure their health care is all set, making sure they have a job, getting them a car, that kind of stuff.
Like, at our North Star Family Services Shelter, they teach people how to cook a meal, how to grocery shop for for the
financial
best value.
planning. It's the best thing.
How to create a budget. How to how to spend, I don't know, within your means. How to open a bank account. These, a lot of very some concepts that some people take for granted that maybe are very useful and helpful in the community, and also for them. And I would imagine with you, they are constantly looking for people to help volunteer their time to help teach these services to people.
We always are looking for different kinds of activities to do with folks. We have a volunteer and activities coordinator right at Grove as well as at all of our other facilities. So again, it's not just Massachusetts. If you're in Massachusetts or if you're in any other state in New England or Montana, North Dakota, just reach out to us and we're more than happy to facilitate that kind of activity. Whether it's, we do a whole manner of activities. For instance, we've had representatives from our company go out to different schools to kind of talk about, what is a veteran, what is it like, what is homelessness. So those kinds of presentations we have kind of, on lockdown. We also do a lot of presentations from other organizations. So most recently at Independence Hall in Shrewsbury, we were very privileged to have some representatives from the Hassanaamisko Nipmuc Band, the local Indian tribe, and to just kind of present on actually a really fascinating underwater archaeology project that they have going on in Lake Quinsigamond.
Really, this is it. Wow,
yeah. I'll have to hook you up with. I know, further afield.
We're getting deep.
But what I love about it is, there are so many opportunities for people to, start to work with veterans and just meet them. Just meet them, start to work, see if you're comfortable with that kind of stuff, and then, it's sky's the limit, really.
And really get engaged and kind of create this new group of friends.
Yeah.
Really, we're talking about meeting people. We're talking about getting involved.
Yeah.
We're talking about creating new friends. Because so many people, like you said in the beginning, isolate themselves, especially after a traumatic situation.
Yeah.
And it's so important to meet people that, can understand you.
And also, and that's another reason that we really try to put out the stand down event every year, just because for so many people, it's one of our, most well publicized events. And it is exactly that kind of, entryway where there are folks who, they're not regularly using services. They may, as we kind of talked about before, they may go like, oh, services, I don't need that. And yeah, exactly. I'm fine. I can tough it out, right? Yeah. And just getting them to a stand down event and seeing that it's not just, I think some people have this kind of image of, it's like an old like Depression era soup line, and that's not it at all. It's really like almost more the air is more of a block party.
Right.
And it's amazing because we're going out there, everybody's enjoying their hot dogs, hamburgers, gluten-free and vegan options available, of course, and all of that jazz.
Oh,
but
nice.
Yeah. But they're doing all of that, and at the same time, we're out there, we're supporting our veterans. We're showing them not only are we here for you on Memorial Day, we're also here for you on your toughest day. And that's really what the whole event is about, is just building that camaraderie, making those services available, and just getting these items into the hands of veterans and their families.
Can we throw the stand down flyer up again one more time, up on the main screen, like that?
We got to get you a pointer,
huh? Yeah, the flyer right before this. Yeah, so this is the stand down event, and did we say where it is?
It's at 69 Grove Street in Worcester.
69 Grove Street, so right at the old National Guard building, right in Worcester.
Shut down the street.
And it's on Friday, June 23rd from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And the great thing about a resource fair like this is you might think that you know what's available. But you go there and there's over 70 different vendors and service organizations set up, and you could talk. You won't be able to talk to them all.
Exactly.
And you'll be able to be like, "What do you do?" And you'll learn 10 new things by the time you leave this event, and you might be engaged and interested in one of them.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing, is that we want people to take what they learn at Stand Down and take that elsewhere. And just take that out into their communities and start talking to us, because we draw people from all across the state to Stand Down, but we're always looking for more. So that's what we're telling folks. Just come on down, check it out. It's family friendly, so bring the kids. It's all nice.
All right, that sounds good, Sully. Okay, so we've talked about the Stand Down event. We talked about all the services from Veterans Inc. We talked about where you're located. Have we talked about it all, or is there any other things that you'd like to add before we wrap it up?
I think that's good. Yeah, I think we're good.
All right.
I'm going through my memory banks right now. Yeah, I think we're good. Yeah.
Right.
Covered Independence Hall, covered all of the great services that we do there. So yeah, we're good.
Yeah, so you can go to veteransinc.org and see all of the great information and check out the flyer for the Stand Down event if you didn't pause the TV and take a picture of the QR code. All right.
And actually that QR code goes directly to the pre-registration. So if there are any vets or their guests, you can just scan that, go right in, and we're actually going to have an opportunity for folks who pre-register are actually going to have an opportunity to take part in a raffle that's going to go on.
Ooh, a
but
raffle.
you have to pre-register, and you have to come for the raffle. So that's the biggest thing.
What do we win at the raffle?
I believe it's going to be, I don't know if they've told me the prize yet. I think it might be some kind of gift card, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
But there's a chance to win. I like prizes.
Yeah, I do too.
All right, sounds good. Thank you so much, Sully.
Thank you so much.
Sully Roberts, the Community Engagement Specialist from Veterans Inc., located at 69 Grove Street in Worcester. You can go to veteransinc.org to find out more information. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, and thank you so much for watching at home, discussing Fitchburg Now here on Fitchburg Access Television in lovely downtown Fitchburg, Massachusetts. We will see you at the next show.